Welcome back to Satisfactory. Update 8 is now live for everybody, so I'm hoping you're enjoying it. If you're just tuning in, don't hesitate to check in the video description below to see the full playlist, because we're already on episode 9. But at the same time, I'm trying to make each of the episodes with very specific elements. Today, we're gonna focus on the elevator part 2. We have already obviously done the first element of the elevator, the smart plating, because that was in phase 1, but now we have 2 new ones to do. The versatile framework and the automated wiring. In the last episode, we did a lot, right? We did a huge highway. Don't hesitate to check it out. You'll see it, of course, during this episode. We also did a new modular factory for rotors and motors. But yeah, today we want to move to those phase 2 resources and do a couple of other things. We're gonna look at the MAM, power storage, and also I want to upgrade my concrete factory. You know, we still had a very basic concrete factory. I made a real one. Let's start with the MAM because I did find one more hard drive, and we have, you know, a number of, as always, you know, 3 new recipes, quick wires, stators. I mean, I just made stators, so maybe not right now. Automated speed wiring. So this is one that's going to be able to make automated wiring a lot better in the sense of it's 7.5 per minute instead of 2.5, so it's a huge growth, but it is also taking a manufacturer instead of an assembler, and I don't have the manufacturer right now, so it's a bit useless for me right now. This one, to be honest, I also can't use it because I need the refinery, which we don't have yet, but we're actually going to get the refinery very soon, and I actually think this is a really great one. Because basically with this, you're going to be able to make a lot more copper per copper ore, right? Like the standard recipe is 1 copper ore to make 1 copper ingot. With this one, you have 6 copper ore to make 15, right? So it's a huge increase in terms of the efficiency. So for the late game, this will be pretty good. Let's go with that one. Then we're gonna move to power storage. You may remember in the last episode we talked about power. We had increased our power over here, but we hadn't started to make power storage yet, right? And by the way, in this episode today, I'm going to actually make some factory live with you. I know some of you have said, you know, you don't really like when I just show the final factory. So some of it has already been built, but some of it we're gonna build together. So it is power storage, you know, it's this building over here. You can place as many as you want. It does take the stators, and that's why we waited until today to build some. I'm gonna put 2 more over here, right? And this way we have a nice, basically storage bank. Now we do need to connect, you know, all of the storage bank to power. Okay, and it is. We have basically everything connected now. So if I click on one of those power storages, you can see I have a huge storage there, because each of those power storage is going to be for 100 megawatts per hour. And I have 12 of these. So it's gonna take a while for the whole thing to charge, but what it means is also gonna take a very long time for it to get empty if at some point I have a problem. Basically my, you know, my coal factories don't work or something else is happening. If I have a problem, right, this is going to go down, but slowly go down. And therefore I'll have time to fix whatever problem I have. So power storage, a really good one. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions. And now let's move to the concrete factory. You may remember that as part of my initial starter base over here, we had one miner over here that was taking the limestone, right, and sending the limestone into these 3 constructors, and it wasn't even working at 100%, and then making some concrete. The reality is this is full, so it was fine, but it wasn't really ready for big expansion in the future. Then we also had a second one over here in the back, which we weren't really using. So now I've created a factory on it, right? You can see over here we have the foundation, concrete foundation, where the miner is. It's now a miner Mark II, so we're talking about 240. There's a light here to make sure that, you know, we don't lose it. And then this goes into this elevator, right, to go up. So here it is. It's a classic thing I've been doing in all of my factories. Don't hesitate to tell me if you have any questions, but I'm gonna repeat myself. We have this elevator over here to go there. And then a small factory, you know, it's really not a huge factory, but I think it looks pretty good, where we are making 90 concrete per minute. So this is going to get quickly full. If we go inside again, this is a very simple factory where we have the Mark III belt, because this is 240. And then we have, you know, splitters in the middle, 3 splitters for 6 constructors. Each of those constructors starting 45, so it's a perfect productivity. And that's why they're all green. And then on the side, basically we're going to merge all of this, merge with the same on the other side, and goes into a storage container. That's how we're making 90 concrete per minute into this small, simple factory. By the way, I've also connected it with a small road from here to there to a highway. So in the future, if we need to have a truck come and pick it up, or if we need even just to belt it and put it in that belt over here under the highway, we're ready for it. By the way, we're going to use that belt today in this episode. So yeah, an upgraded concrete factory to make sure we always have enough concrete. And with this, we can move into versatile framework and automated wiring. So I'm gonna take the hypertube to go to my base at the end of it, at the end of the highway to hell over here. You may remember where we made motors. And while this is happening, let me show you what we're gonna make, how many we're gonna make per minute. Basically, we're gonna make 5 versatile framework and 5 automated wiring per minute. I know it is a low number, but this is because, first of all, we don't need that many, right? We need 500 and 100. And second is because this is not really an end game factory. It is more kind of a mid game factory. In the future, we'll do this in a way bigger scale, but this is, you know, enough for now. This will in total use 150 of coal and a bit more than 300 of iron. So remember those numbers, they will be important, of course. To do this, you know, we're gonna need a couple of buildings, but actually not that much. You know, for example, it's gonna be just 1 assembler for the versatile framework, 2 assemblers for the modular frame, 1 constructor for the iron rod, 2 constructor for the iron plates, 1 for the screws, and 2 or 3, depending on if we underclock or overclock, for the steel beams. And then similarly for the automated wiring, we're going to use 2 assemblers for the automated wiring, 1 assembler for the stators, 1 constructor only for the steel pipes, quite a few constructors, 11 for the wires, because we're going to use the special recipe that is actually making wires out of iron ingot. And last but not least, 4 constructors for the cables. And again, the reason I'm doing this is this way I don't even need any copper. This is just coal and iron. So that's what we're gonna do. We have arrived to our motor and rotor factory over here, right? Where we're bringing a lot of coal, bringing copper, and over here we had some iron. Right now only using 1 of these, right? Manor Mark II, 240. We have another one over here that we're not using, but remember we also have 2 over there, because this time we're gonna need a bit more than 300, so just 1 is not enough. So therefore what I've decided, we're gonna use those 2 over here. We're gonna bring this iron up, we're gonna also use the coal that's already coming, and we're gonna make a factory, you know, probably over here, maybe a very flat factory. And then what I want to do is actually send back the versatile framework and the automated wiring all the way back there, right? So that's what we're gonna do. And basically I'm gonna build the factory with you. Let's do it live. Okay, here it is. So first things first, let's actually put some foundations. We're gonna use the blueprint that I created before, right? And just start building. Not sure how much resources I have. When I'm going to start a new factory like this, usually what I'm doing is placing a couple of those industrial storage containers close by, then dropping basically everything that I have in my inventory, you know, as much as possible. Then what I'm gonna do is grab and bring a lot of the basic materials like concrete and iron plates. This will enable me to do all of the foundations needed. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start also putting into my to-do list what we need. For example, I know that we're gonna want 2 Manor Mark II for the 2 iron deposits. We're gonna quite a few smelters, to be honest. Actually, I don't know exactly how many. So let's put 20. And similarly, foundry, we're gonna need quite a bit. And then let me sum all of those assemblers. Okay, I think this is 7, if I didn't make a mistake. And it is 24 constructors, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of other things like, you know, storage containers. Of course, we're gonna need a lot of lights and a bit of everything else, right? We're gonna want, you know, a power switch. We're gonna want a lot of power poles. We're gonna want outlets, walls, and things like this. But at least this is a good start to show me what type of things I need and bring that to the right place. So let me do this. So now I have one container that has everything I used to have, one container full of concrete and iron plate, which will be important for the foundation. And then right now I just brought everything that was needed as per my to-do list, right? So I can drop all of this there. Oh, there's not enough space. So let me keep these ones and drop this. Perfect. And then I can start having a lot of these. So we can continue now adding more foundations to this part there, right? So we had finished here, good. So 3, done. Let's extend and one more. Costing so much resources, but it's also so great that we can do that fast now. Okay, so we have a bit of space to play with now, right? And done. So now we have a bit of space to play with. Now, as I said, this is going to be a temporary factory, not an endgame one, so I'm not going to spend too much time building it, but we will try to do something slightly clean. What I'm thinking is, in particular, we're going to do just one subfloor for all of the belts to come in. Then we're going to do one floor with all. So now let's think, let's leave one space, then railing, and then maybe 2 space for a sort of mini road, then another one for another railing. And therefore, you know, we can say that the factory will start over here, if I'm not mistaken. So then for the first level, it's mostly gonna be built. So let's put just 2, and then we can do again the same of putting, you know, foundations on top. Slightly finicky often to put the first one, but once you have the first one, that's a lot easier. Okay, and then we can do the same, start upgrading. Now I could also use blueprints like last time, where we already have a number of steel ingots, you know, but in this case, again, this is not a very big factory, so I'm just gonna do it manually. And we can just zoom the wall like this. Maybe later we'll replace by some windows. I'll show you how, but for now, make it quick and easy. Okay, so we're gonna bring the coal from there. We're gonna bring the iron probably from over here. So let's do that. Actually, you know, we can think about it quickly. And there is over here for sure this mountain. So yeah, I think we're gonna do something probably along the line of this one. Going down. And down. Oops. And down. Now we know where we are at. Zooping. Okay, so maybe we'll have that a bit more this side. Let's see. Is this one a good one? Yeah, we can have this one going here, this one there. Okay, let's zoop a bit more. Yes. Make a mini factory here. This one, there's a bit of clipping, but really not that much. So, I think we're... okay, let's do it properly. Oh, and I just realized I already had miners actually, so I don't need to... And why is it not working? Yeah, because I'm on blueprints. Okay, so let's put the miner now on top. Oh, always forget. Yeah, done. Okay. So in between the two, that's okay. And then same here, should be fine. There is a limit, of course, of how high you can put the miners before they tell you that you're not touching the actual thing. But I think over here will be fine. Let's do it. If I do this way, I can use that one actually. Okay, so let's do it this way. Then snoop a bit more. And back. Okay. That's probably the extent of the base at this level. Right. Maybe we extend it also one layer here. And there. Perfect. We can close it a bit later. Can also take all of those things. As long as you have fuel. I don't have fuel on me right now. That's the problem. We're gonna connect here and there. Two elevators go over here. You know, I can put already the wall if I have resources. Yeah, yeah, perfect. And then it's gonna go here. Done. Okay. So then that's gonna come in here, and there we're gonna have the coal there. So now let me start getting some of the other resources we need to start building. Okay, so first I want to take that we don't need. I want to take the wood, taking all of the resources we're gonna need to build. Perfect. Oh. And now we can start building. So let's start with connecting at the bottom all of this. First the electricity. It's not the most beautiful electric management right now, but that will do. Oh, too long. So we can go here, make a wall one, and then go down. Perfect. And then here. Okay, so we now have electricity, it's green, 240 and 240. We don't need all of this, so I could underclock a bit, but we can do that at the end. Then we do need, you know, the belts. Let me actually start by the elevators. So 4E to put Mark 3. Now these ones are not gonna be long enough if I do it like this, right? So we're gonna have to do the same trick I've showed you in the previous episode, but if not, you can see it over here, where basically we're gonna put just one foundation. Then we're gonna put floor holes, like here and there, should be fine. Let's connect them. It is the right, yes, it is an output. Oh, sorry, Mark 3 it needs to be. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same at the bottom. Let me just remember, this is basically in the corners. Okay, that's fine. So as I said, we're just gonna do the same at the bottom, for example, over here. 2 floor holes, one here and one there, if I'm not mistaken. Now we'll be able to connect them from top to bottom. And put them like this, yeah. From top to from top to bottom. Okay, and then we just need here, put it at floor level. I forgot again, Mark 3. Mark 3, cool. Okay, and now we just need to connect that with a Mark III belt. So let's do this a bit cleanly. Now let's do the same with the other, starting by the end, straight, and when you have close by, you can start turning. One, two. Okay, it's not perfect, but it will do. So we have 240, 240 coming up, going all the way up, and then they're gonna go here. Mark 3 for sure. Oops. Done, and same over here. We need to go to the right length, so it's 2 meter back, and that should be straight. Perfect. A good 90 degree. Okay, so we have all of the iron coming this side. We have on this side the coal, so let me get that. So just going to expand my blueprint here. Delete the top part. It's really not needed right now, and to be honest, only the middle one is needed right now. Okay, here this is also conveyor, but we only need one. Could put an elevator, but honestly, not needed. Wall. Okay. So now let me just recheck my calculation on how many foundries we need. Okay, so each of the foundry is going to make 45 steel ingot per minute at 100%. You know, I don't like to overclock, use shards for buildings like this. I need a bit less than 150, so you could say it's a bit more than 3 of these foundries, so let's make 4, and we can always underclock 1. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and as always we put floor holes to put elevators for these resources, and done. We're gonna need electricity too, by the way. Where is the closest electricity pole here? Let's put a power switch. This is to power up and down the factory. And in the future this will probably be higher, but right now it's fine, can do it. Okay, connect to electricity. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then steel ingot, copy, paste, paste, paste. Now we're talking about 45, so a normal elevator, Mark 1 is totally fine. Just putting one on each. Okay, then we go down. We're gonna want coal, basically this side, right? So the first one is always gonna come this side. Hope I didn't make a mistake, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the iron is gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be the other side. Done. Okay. Oh, this is a bit close. Eh. Okay, and then and then a couple of these splitters, and with that we have the coal going in. We just need the iron now, right? So as I said, the iron is coming all the way from over here. So it's quite a... Oh, and there's also some enemies there. Maybe... Oh, that's fine. They're not too close. So we only need 140 in this case, right? So one belt is totally fine. And actually, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna keep one belt for the iron and one belt for the steel. And then that way we can easily underclock to exactly what's needed. Okay, we're extending the belt. A straight line. And here we're gonna need obviously more splitters. So let's go. Turn with your mouth. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oops, that's the wrong base. Just put the other ones. This one is not in the right place. Now, if you put the splitters after like this, then we do need to connect them inside. Done, done. Okay, and then we can expand that one. Done, 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 done. So we should have iron going up. Yes, 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 and perfect. So that should move, yeah, to green, 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 perfect. And we have 4 now. Now, what are we going to do with those 4? Slash, we could do at the opposite side all of the smelters that we're gonna need, right? I need quite a few. Because one iron ingot is 30. I need a bit more than 170, so that means, 6 of those smelters. That I think will fit pretty nicely. We start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have put them a bit more closer to each other, but this way they're centered, and in particular they are aligned to constructors. If you need to make one-to-one, that's very easy. We're gonna need also some electricity though. Do not forget about this. We obviously want to take it from the same power switch, otherwise it'll be like multiple power switch for one factory. That wouldn't be very efficient. Go here. Yeah. Connecting electricity everywhere. Good. Taking the right recipe. Iron ingot. Copy. 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 Paste. 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 Good. Then floor hole. In this case, only one. You can also put it slightly closer. If you nudge with control, you can nudge by 0.5 meter. In this case, obviously you would have some clipping, but it's clipping that you don't really see much. So I just wanted to show you can do that. The only problem is it's multiple click. Mark 1 elevator is totally fine. And same at the bottom, obviously. Splitters. Connect the splitter to the elevator. Now Mark 3 belt over here to connect the splitters together. And then we connect this one over here. 1, 2. And perfect angle. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, slowly but surely going up. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Green, 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 green. Perfect. They're all on. Okay. So moving on. What are we going to do with this steel? What are we going to do with those ingots? Right? These ones are all full. Perfect. So we're gonna want to do some steel pipes and steel beams. For the steel pipes, it's actually only one, if I'm not mistaken. Steel pipe, yeah, it's actually even 0.75. So we can put, one constructor basically in front, like this. This one is going to do steel pipe. We need only 15, so that's why it's not even one. And so what we can do is take the same number, 22.5, and put it over here, 22.5, right? We can connect. Good. Electricity. Okay, so we have the pipes, and then we want to do the same for steel beams. Basically, in total, I need 31 steel beams. So what we can do is, for example, put 10.5 for each. Right, this is going to take 42. 42 is basically what we're making over here, so that's fine. And this way we don't have to put mergers and splitters or anything like this. We're just underclocking a bit everything. Copy, paste, paste. Okay, so that's what we have to do, with our steel ingots. We're making steel beams and the steel pipes. And then, by the way, some of those steel beams are going to be used in one constructor to make over here, to make some screws, right? It's actually really not a lot of screws. I mean, we only need 45, let's put 50 just to be safe. So you see, it is basically one steel beam. So that's a very easy one. We can either do splitter, manifold, whatever. That's going to get super quickly full, so that's not really a problem. So let me actually put it over here on the side, where here what I'm gonna do is actually put a smart splitter, where the priority is to send this way to make this full right away, and then when this is full it can go on the other side, where on the other side we're actually gonna merge. Yeah, merge this one. Perfect. So you see this will merge with this and with that. 1, 2. Perfect. So that's the steel beams and that's the steel pipes. You can do something like this so you also see it. Right, here we need a quick electricity and recipe, and we said just 50. No need to go crazy. And then we just need to configure the smart splitter. So this is the entrance, right, of the smart splitter. So we're gonna say over here you put any, and on this side you put the overflow. Okay, now let's go to the other side. Now I think in this case we're making so much and there's not gonna be easy math. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna merge it all. And it's 30 times 6, 180. We can put all of this into a belt. That won't be a problem. So let's go. We're gonna have a merger here. Perfect. These ones, Mark 1 is fine. But in between, we definitely need Mark 3, at least at the end. And given I have so much resources and it doesn't cost electricity, I'm just putting it everywhere. Okay, so that's gonna be very full, very quick. And then we can start making things with it. We're gonna need 2 for the iron plates, but it's actually, you know, very underclock because in total we need 22.5. So, you know, we're gonna make 20 on this one and just 2.5 on this one. And we need basically a splitter here, there. And maybe I can even do the next one there too. Where the next one is gonna be the roads. And we only need 1. So that's not too bad. Cool. Connect. Oopsie. That's not what I wanted to do. Connect here. Connect here. Mark 3. Mark 3. Mark 3. Mark 3. And for the roads, it's actually exactly 15 that we need, so that's fine. Now I'm starting to wonder if I'll be able to do everything on one floor instead of multiple. I think we can with a bit of spaghetti. Okay, so then we need to make the reinforced iron plate with those iron plates and those screws. We don't need 5 per minute, we actually need only 3.75, and that's how the 22 and the 45 came. So here, you know, just need to merge this. Here we'll need an elevator to bring the screws from over here, because they're gonna come from all the way over there, and that's fine. So this is going to create reinforced iron plate, and we said 3.75. Perfect. Just need a bit of electricity. And these reinforced iron plates are going to be used into 2 assemblers to make modular frames. So let's go over here. We're gonna put them. Now, which one goes up? Which one goes down? So it's fine. So let's put this one like this. Right, and this one is the opposite side. Okay, so we go 3 on top of each other because this is the height that you need to have for an elevator. This one. Alright, because we're gonna bring this into it. 1, 2. Okay, then this one is already connected. This one we just need to connect like this. And here, let's see if I put it. Oops. So I'm on that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be in range. Perfect to connect directly. So we don't need a belt. And then we're gonna do the same on that side, where we need to bring it here. Nice turn. Perfect. Cool. Very organized. Love it. So we're making over here the reinforced iron plates, and then on this side we're gonna make the modular frames. One is going to work at 100% to make 2, and one is going to just work to make 0.5 to 25%. Perfect. So let's wait for all of this to fill, and for that to happen we're gonna need the screws to come. For the screws. And the other reason I'm putting it high is obviously this way I have space for the modular frames to come out. Perfect. Good. So modular frames are gonna go with the steel beams into making, you know, the versatile framework. So that's the end for this one. So I think we're gonna put it over here. And you'll see why in a second. So that is versatile framework, taking my steel beams and modular frame, making 5 per minute. That's exactly what we want. So this is not very straight, sorry about that. Let's do 1, 2. What? Okay, now that's fine. We're gonna bring all of these over here. Let me do the same. Putting it aligned so it looks nice and clean, but instead it's gonna come this side. Okay, and with this we're done for the versatile framework. It's gonna take a minute to start, but now we can move to the second one, the automated wiring. Now for the automated wiring, we're gonna need stators and cables. The stators, they're going to come from steel pipes and wires, and then the cables are cables that come from wire. Okay, so let's start with the biggest one, which is actually the wire, because we need 11. Okay, so we have 6 there and 5 there, that's 11. Then we need, of course, splitters in the middle. Go down, see a bit better. So in the middle, this is where the rest of the iron is going to come from. One, two. Okay, so Mark 3 in the middle. And we can go back to Mark 1 for each of these. Okay. Oops. Okay. And then we need to put alternative wire. Copy, paste, 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 paste. And now we need electricity. Let's put it on top of the splitter. No, it's not the most pretty thing, but it's very effective. And now we're just connect them on each side. Now with all of this, we're only talking about a bit more than 240 in total. So on a Mark III belt, you know, to merge them all, that works. But we also do need to use some of these wires for cables. So that's what we're gonna do. Mergers everywhere. Okay, so we have wires. Now we're gonna want to make stators with those wires and with those pipes. We actually do need 5, so that's perfect, not just 1. We have the pipes coming over here, and we're gonna need some of these wires coming all the way here. And we're also going to need some of these wires for the cables, right? So that's why I'm going to put a splitter there. There's one that's going to go all the way over here, and one that's going to resting this just in front. Okay, so with this, we're gonna start making stators. And then those stators and cables need to go into automated wiring. This is actually 2 of these. So let me see. We have the space there. Something like this and like that. That should be good. With automated wiring, it's 2.5. So we said we wanted 2. We're gonna want 1 there. And we said we also want 1, 3 with elevators. Well, I'm not sure I put it to the right. So it's gonna come from this side and it's gonna come from that side. Perfect. We delete the 2 at the bottom. They're obviously not needed anymore. We can do this one quickly at the bottom. Mark 1, that's fine. Easy peasy. Let's put the electricity so that it starts making it full with stators. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side where we want 100 cable. So actually a Mark 1 won't be enough, Mark 2 is enough. And then in each of them it is 50. So a Mark 1 elevator is actually fine. Just need to make sure that it connects nicely. Perfect. And perfect. And so now we just need to make those cables, right? We need 100. That's gonna be basically 4 constructors. So let's go. We need space for 4. And we need space to come this side. So let's see, somewhere over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's gonna work pretty well. You know, again, I didn't plan the whole factory in advance. I'm planning it as we go with you. And it's mainly because it is a temporary one, so I'm not too worried if I mess it up or if it's not perfect. Some mergers. We're gonna want also Mark 2, as I said, for the middle one. Let's go Mark 2, Mark 2. And here we're gonna have an elevator, which should be a Mark 2 elevator. This one goes like this. Perfect. It's not exactly a line, almost. Okay, so this is cable now. Cable, cable, cable. There is one of them that can be underclocked because we only need 100 in total. So that means this one can be just 10. And then on this side, we just need a splitter coming from this side. Autosave. Done. Okay, and we connect. How many are we taking? 60. So maybe let's put again a Mark 2 because a Mark 1 is limited to 60. So that means you can easily have any small problem. You know, if something happens with the Mark 2, you can go to 120. So you never have a problem. Okay, and then this one needs to be Mark 3. Let's make it a bit cleaner. That's perfect. I could have also put the splitter over here, but that's fine. That's fine. And we're missing now the electricity. Let's connect this one back here. Again, I know this is not the most beautiful electricity setup you've ever seen. But it works. Everything is green now. Obviously not these ones yet. It's gonna take a bit of time for the cables to arrive. And then we're gonna need over here to merge. So it is a few minutes later and those two assemblers are now working pretty well, getting to 100% soon. Then basically what I've done is I'm merging both of these into this one lane. Then this lane is going above over here, a small elevator if you wish, and it's going to be merged with the other one there. So it is, ladies and gents, a quick, quite compact factory to make 5 versatile framework and 5 automated wiring in just one small rectangle. Now obviously we can start making this pretty now, right? We can put walls all around, we can put a roof on it, etc. I'll do this in a second. We can do the same, of course, at the bottom over here for the mine. But now, most interestingly, how do we bring this back to our base? We could have a new truck station, but the thing is we're only making 10 per minute, right? 5 of each, so that's not a lot. So what we can also do is start using over here the belt, right? We have space to put belts here. So we bring the belt all the way over here. Then we're gonna, oops, I fell. I'm not gonna lie, it took a while to connect from the beginning to the end like this, right? Between each pillar, we just connect. But we have done it, and therefore we are bringing, you know, all of these versatile framework, and then later hopefully we'll have also some automated, yeah, over here. And now the reality is I don't actually want them to go all the way there. I want them to stop slightly before over here. I created this small bridge to go directly into the space elevator, right? We have the space elevator over here. We want to feed the versatile framework and automated wiring. So they're coming over here. We're gonna stop, you know, this one. We're going to make it slightly different. And I see I'm missing some roads. Good thing we are at the base. The roads are here. So let's start from the elevator, go over here, and then we can connect back to there. And I can also delete, by the way, that one. Good. So they should be, no, I missed it, my bad. That's quite ugly. But anyway, it's coming. And it's gonna come over here, right? Go into this elevator that goes down, then onto this bridge. And then there's a bit of complexity over here, mainly because, you know, we're going to bring a lot of resources, basically a lot of versatile framework and automated wiring into the same belt. But at some point that means the belt could be stuck, right? Could be full, for example, of automated wiring when we don't need more in the space elevator, and we won't be delivering the versatile framework. So that's why I put a smart splitter over here. That's going to split the versatile framework and automated wiring into those two belts and therefore into those two elevators. I actually did put for both of these a second smart splitter so that we have, first of all, you know, you send to the elevator, but then when it's full, you send it into the awesome sink, because again, otherwise this at some point will start being full. So that's not great. And this way, that's also going to give me some electricity if I don't forget to connect it to power. But yeah, the first one are coming. Here it is. So that's going to start bringing down into these two elevators and directly into the space elevator. While this is starting, let me do a bit of cosmetic on the factory. It is, ladies and gents, a couple of minutes later, and I've done small beautification of the factory. Again, this is not a late game factory, so I'm not gonna spend tons and tons of hours on it. And I actually do like more and more to be able to see, you know, what's happening like this. So always having sort of the top floor open, I think looks good. Obviously, earlier in the episode in the concrete factory, I put a roof, but yeah, on this one I felt it was good to leave it open. We do have at the bottom, you know, obviously some windows, so we can see nothing because it's very dark. But if you put your lamp, then you can see what's happening. I have basically put a small road in the middle, right, to separate the two factories. We have, you know, concrete top instead of a metal top. We have some railings so that we don't fall. And then over here, you know, we're bringing through a tower with elevators. So we see exactly, you know, the resource coming in. You can also see them over there. And while doing this, you can see in the top corner of the screen, we have started to deliver some resources. We have delivered 100 out of 100 of the automated wiring and a bit more than 250 of the versatile framework. Now, this was mostly, you know, all of the versatile framework and automated wiring that had been building up. So if you want, you can even calculate exactly the amount of time that has passed since I started building this factory. But with 5 versatile framework per minute, it's gonna take a bit more longer to get to the 500. So we're not going to complete phase 2 in this episode, but as you can see, everything is ready. It's just time. I just need to wait a bit of time before we can do it. So as soon as we start the next episode, we will complete phase 2 and we'll get into the final tiers of the game, or at least the final tiers of the early access part of the game. When we get to version 1.0, hopefully we have even more. But yeah, this final part, you know, when we get into oil and many other things, so that's gonna get super interesting. Smash the like button. I hope you like this episode. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below anything that I can do better, and I hope to see you next time.